Do you know God's promises? I think we all know some of the bigger, more namely promises that he's given us, like whenever you see a rainbow, that he has promised us he will never flood the earth again, or that the seasons will continue. There will always be another season, or that he'll always be there to provide for you, your family. But do we recognize that there is a whole bunch more to God's promises? Whenever you just start down this process of researching this, you can see that there's 7 promises, or that there's 70 promises, or that there's 700. And I've even seen some arguments that there's 7,000 promises of God. The reality is some of these are really well known and some of them not so much. Hi, I'm Dan, and I've started this process of working through learning how to stand on God's promises. I've been doing a video series on YouTube and TikTok, and it's been this journey, it's been this process of what are God's promises, how do we hear them, how do we stand on them? Some of the bigger ones are easier to do, but do we know what some of the lesser ones are? Make sure you give a like, a comment, a follow, subscribe, so that you can see some of my past content, and definitely so you can see some of the future content. Today, I just want to read through some of the lesser known promises. See if you can figure out what the promise is in the verse. See if you can see what is actually there. These are ones that aren't talked about quite so much. One of the better ones may be 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your worries upon him because he cares for you. Lamentations 3:22 and 23. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. What about Song of Songs 8? Verses 6-7. Set me as a seal on your heart, as a seal on your arm. For stern as death is love, relentless as the netherworld is devotion. Its flames are a blazing fire. Deep waters cannot quench love, nor floods sweep it away. There is so many. I could just continue to read and read and read. Micah 6:8. You have been told, O man, what is good and what the Lord requires of you. Only to do the right and to love goodness and to walk humbly with your God. He's told you that. He's told you exactly what he requires of you. That again is another promise. Philippians 1:3. I give thanks to my God at every remembrance of you, praying always with joy in my every prayer for all of you. Or who among you is wise? Let him show his works by a good life in the humility that comes from wisdom. James 3:13. There are so many promises in the Bible. In fact, you could start to argue that almost every verse, every iteration is a promise given to us by him in some form or fashion. Which one stands out to you? Which one points to you? Which one is the one that you keep on turning back to? I've got a few. Philippians keeps coming to mind. James keeps coming to mind. But the more time that you spend in the Word, the easier it gets to see God's promises and to stand on them. We have to have the knowledge. We have to know the Word to get to know God. Do me a favor. Read through a list of Bible verses and pick out some. What is one that you see as a promise to you? Share them below. I'd love to know what God's promises are for you so I can pray over those things. If you'd like help working through some of this, or maybe even just with direction of where to look for a promise on your life, give me a comment, give me a shout out. There's a link in the bio if you'd even like to have a call with me. I would love to chat. I pray for you today that you have God's blessing on your life. Be blessed.